BEC, the Church manifests herself as someone who can cater equally to the needs of all people at all times towards change in the pursuit of establishing and experiencing God's kingdom here on earth. But what can we do to bring this to full realization? My BEC exposure in Sinai taught me a lot of things. Before delving into them, however, I realized that one of the important things I should be considering is this: who are the people involved in sustaining the life of the BEC? With this, I would like to give emphasis on the kind of faith and principle that Monsignor Albert Rabi has in carrying out this noble task. Despite all the struggles and threats attached in the BEC mission, he can still show to all the people, the poor, the people whom he loves, that he can stand with them and for them. This is just spectacular, and I am certain that only a man of faith and principle can do this. Indeed, there is a need, first of all, of someone who has the strong conviction and determination of reaching the goal to serve as a guide and a leader so that the BEC would not go in vain. Perhaps witnessing in person the great difference between social justice and private charity was the greatest gift I received from my BEC experience. As a result, I already have a little glimpse to the answers of what I have been asking for so long, such as: how can we stop injustice? How can we help the poor? Is it just by giving them the thing they need? Etc. These are some of the many social issues humanity is facing right now. In this regard, the Church should act as a primary agent in bringing change and renewal, in order that each flock and all people would live life to the fullest according to their dignity. What is happening right now, however, if I am right in my judgment, is that churches focus more on private charity. This means that it's true, they are helping the poor and oppressed by giving them what they really need in life. They are happy doing it, and these poor people are also happy for them. Then it goes on and on in that cycle alone. Looking at this situation, I, and even an ordinary citizen, I suppose, could just roll up his sleeves, then sigh and ask, is this all there is to life? This gives us the inkling that actually there is something more than this that we can do. This is what brings to the fore the idea of social justice. Thus, the question of what can we give to the poor will be transformed into a question such as: why is there a thing called poverty? Where and what is its source? This implies a greater responsibility, since one is asked to step up higher and go to the source and cause of poverty. This is the thing that I have seen in Sinai that challenges me. I would like to believe that this is what our society needs now, a society filled with systems that enslave and have suppressed the rights and dignity of many souls. But another discovery I had is that the first step in carrying this out is no other than waking the people up from this reality. Waking people up from reality, however, is the hardest task I believe that one can do. Many people are not aware of their situations. They just accept their way of life, saying it's their fate, and the only way they know to escape from this is to work harder. Many people are indeed asleep and unconscious of the heights they could soar, in order that systems and lifestyles which continuously take chances on them would in the end crumble down. Again, the first step for change and renewal is for the concerned people to be aware of the situations they are in and be convinced that they can do something about it. In the end, however, we realize that as we work for this, no matter how good our intentions may be, there will always be people who will stand against us. They may serve as a challenge or threat to us, but one thing for me is certain, and that is, there is always a best way of doing it, and it is our task to discover them. The point is, we have to remember that as we work for justice, we are at the same time working for harmony. And so, we cannot just favor one group at the expense of another. Our work is aimed at harmonizing the one and the same people of God with love and compassion. Oh, how I love to see that day when people would be thinking of the welfare of another. How I love to see that day when a politician and a farmer, or a bishop and an indigent, could dine in one table. I love to see that day when people regard each other not by public profession but by dignity. I hope and I continue to hope because I know it will.